Hey guys, what's going on? Pickup video for you. First off, I got a lot on eBay, and I'm not going to identify the seller, but it came with 7 games, a controller, a Kinect, what have you, and it was... I've already taken the stuff out of the box, but this is literally all the packing material that came in it. The Kinect came wrapped in a shitty Priority Mail bubble wrap, and this was the only thing that had any protection on it. So, you know, I paid 45 bucks for this lot, and before you say 45 bucks for a Kinect lot, there was more in it than that. But yeah, as I'm bundling up the cords here, it came with a Kinect lot, it came with a Kinect, standard AV cable for the 360, a headset. It's just kind of the odds and ends that were in there. A wired controller, which needs to be cleaned up. One of these shitty intercooler things. A Nyko rechargeable battery pack. And a standard AA battery pack. As well as an AV remote. Or the media remote for the 360. The small version. He obviously used this quite a bit because the buttons are fairly worn, which is fine, but absolutely no packing material for 7 games. And you'll see why I'm kind of upset about it. There was 3 Xbox 360 games. The first one is a disc-only copy of Fable 2, which I could care less about. I already have. This is a This is a pack-in copy of Gears of War 3, as it says, not labeled for individual sale. It is complete, and the manual is there. I already have all this DLC, so if you guys can use those codes and they haven't been redeemed, go ahead and use them. I don't care. If they have been used, I apologize, but like I said, it was packed in. And Gears of War is complete. It's just got one of those shitty, barely manuals, if you want to call it a manual at all. Disc is in great shape. I'm just amazed that nothing was damaged because, like I said, he didn't put any packing material in there to speak of. Of course, if it came with a Kinect, it had to come with a copy of Kinect Adventures. Who cares? It's actually a fun game and actually a reasonably decent tech demo for what the Kinect could do, but no one really cares about that. Then, like I said... Road to Germany, FIFA World Cup, Road to Germany 2006. Used to watch a lot of soccer when my buddy Sean was here before he moved to Michigan. He's an Arsenal fan, and I'm a Manchester United fan, so it was a lot more fun to watch games when you had a rival to watch with. So, whatever. The key things to this lot, though, for 45 bucks were not the games, not the controllers, not all the various peripherals. It's a guilty pleasure game, 50-cent bulletproof. Not nearly as good as Blood on the Sand. This one's kind of a mess compared to Blood on the Sand. But this is a great game, fantastic game, and I'd actually been contemplating on just buying a copy of it, but this is Mark Echo's Getting Up. You're sort of a outlaw tagger, graffiti artist. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. I had it originally, and I don't know if I sold it or if it was something that got borrowed and never got returned. I'm thinking it was something that got borrowed and never got returned. So, for those of you who say, Nate only loans out games to a select group of people, that's why. I've had stuff either come back damaged or stuff that I just didn't get. But here was the key thing in this lot, and this is why I was upset that there was no packing material in here, because everybody knows this one's relatively valuable, and that's Conquer Live and Reloaded for the Xbox. It's in great shape. The case isn't beaten up or anything, and thank God the case isn't beaten up because, like I said, there was no packing material in there, and he's going to get 1 star on shipping cost because there's no way there's no way what he charged me for shipping was what he paid for shipping. No packing material and just shoved into a box. No way he paid that much. No way he paid what I was charged for shipping for that. Alright, went over to Salvation Army, and I've been having a pretty reasonable run there lately. They had a blue Wiimote, which I got for $5, so I was happy about that. Got one of my favorites from the launch window of the PS2, Eternal Ring. Played the hell out of this. I rented it. It's from, there you go, From Software, and those guys are on a tear. Definitely got some very early elements of the Souls series built in there. I guess I was looking at this through the history of rose-colored lenses, because I remember this game looking a lot better than it did, and it really doesn't. But I don't care. This is still a lot of fun. It was one of those games that came out early on in the system. It was just like Evergrace, which I think is also from Software. They weren't perfect, but it got you excited because this is where the console, this is what the console could do, and this is where it was headed. I got another copy of We Play. These games were all $3, by the way. $3. We Play. No big deal. It's not even a particularly valuable game. However, anytime I buy a Wii and I'm able to flip it, I always like to have a copy of this to throw in. So I've got a couple of Wiis that I'm putting up for sale, and I have 2 copies of Wii Play now, which gives me the ability to toss that in, give somebody a game. Then there was, I'm sure you can see me flipping open the big box. I walked in. I walked into Salvation Army, saw that they had a couple of big box PlayStation games. Normally, if they're big box PS1 games, it's sports, and I could care less unless it's one of the racing. Unless it's a racing game, I don't mind. But it wasn't a sports game. It was actually something I am super excited to find, and that is Road Rash for the PS1. Sort of an update remaster of the original Road Rash. I wouldn't call it a direct port, but they were definitely using the power of the power that the PlayStation afforded them over the Genesis. And I don't know if did Road Rash show up on the Super Nintendo. I can't remember. But disc is in great shape. Got this for $3. Opened it up. When I got home, I opened it up to make sure Road Rash was in there, and it was like this in the store. So I just saw the manual and the paperwork. Once I got home and flipped the paperwork back like this, there was a copy. There was a game in here. This is the second time that's happened to me at the Salvation Army when I bought a big box PlayStation game. Destruction Derby was in there, one of my all-time favorite PS1 games. And it's from Psygnosis, one of my favorite developers. They put out Wild 9, which is one of my favorite games from the PS1. It's got this EA paperwork, which has Bullfrog Studios. They did Syndicate and Magic Carpet, Syndicate Wars. Obviously, that was theirs. Theme Park was Bullfrog. There's a couple in here. They got Origin, which is Wing Commander and Prowler. EA Studios, which did Road Rash, Shockwave Assault. And there was one in here when I was flipping through this that I'd never heard of. And that is... Here we are. Viewpoint, and it's apparently a PS1 game from High Score Entertainment. It appears to be sort of a top-downy isometric shooter, so if you guys know about this game, feel free to leave me a message in the comments. I knew nothing about it, and I'm probably going to track down a copy. But yeah, for $14, I picked up Destruction Derby, Road Rash, Wii Play, Eternal Ring, and a Wiimote. So a Wii Motion Plus, too. I forgot to put that in there. This is a Wiimote with the Motion Plus in it. Then it was over to GameStop. Picked up a couple of odds and ends there. Glad to get this, The Puppeteer. This is a fantastic side-scroller 2D, very gorgeous game. I know you can get it digitally, but I've told you my problem with digital. I don't ever want to be locked out of my downloads. And until they come up with a solution where the current consoles, either the Xbox One or the PS4, can play all your back catalog, I will not own a strictly digital collection ever. I mean, obviously, look at that over there. Then I've been playing the hell out of Resident Evil Revelations 2. I didn't realize they were as good as they were, so I picked up a used copy of this. These were each, I think this was 13 and this was 15. So not cheap by any means, didn't get a deal on them, just used the discount I get with my power-up rewards. But anyways, Resident Evil Revelations, I feel, is closer to Resident Evil 1, 2, and 3 than anything else. Absolutely loved RE4. Part 5 I tolerated, and 6 was a goddamn train wreck. Same with Raccoon City. Didn't like those. I love the story modes in Revelations, and I love the raid modes. Those are fantastic. Very, very sort of Horde meets action RPG-ish style gameplay. A lot of fun. I know you can co-op them. I just don't know anybody that has RE2. So if you have it, feel free to send me a invite on Xbox Live, and we'll play some. Then I was over to Rock 30. Not an amazing haul over there. I had $15 in Rock 30 rewards built up, so I grabbed a game for my niece and nephew. This is Connectimals. Fun little game, especially for kids. And my niece and nephews are, let's see, Mackenzie's 6, Nolan's 4, and Evan is going to be 2. So it's right in their wheelhouse. This is perfect for them. I really feel that one thing Microsoft missed out on is they could have come out with a Cameo and a Viva Pinata style game that required the Kinect, that was Kinect centric, and it would have shown what you could do with it. You could have made them really good family games, and I think that's what Kinect was. Could have been a really great workout machine and a really great family games platform, but to try everybody wanted to try to shoehorn that that motion control in and make it for hardcore gamers. Wasn't going to happen. Just wasn't. I don't know enough people that want to play a motion controlled game that would be like an RPG. Fable the Journey, I guess, wasn't bad for that, but it was a very short experience. I think you could beat it in like 4 hours. And that's mainly because no one wants to stand for 4 hours to play a video game. But anyways, I got Connectimals for my niece and nephew, so Mackenzie, Nolan, and Evan, Uncle Nate got you a new game. Then I picked up this. It was underneath the sleeve. They showed it to me. I don't care. I'll have to track it down. But there's a printed off copy of artwork in there. Space Raiders. This is a third person Space Invaders, if you will. You have 3 playable characters, co-op. I see my girlfriend and I sinking a ton of time into this. This is actually a lot of fun. I've already played through like the first 6 or 7 levels. Doesn't take a lot of time. It has a story mode because apparently it needed one. But it is a lot of fun, and it's a GameCube exclusive, so I'm glad to get it. That is Space Raiders. You have a little more abilities. You have, being that you're playing as characters as opposed to spaceships, you have a roll, somersault type ability, special power-up weapons, and grenades. But it is a lot of fun. I've already played a bunch of it. Then I grabbed this, Banjo-Kazooie, Nuts and Bolts. I need to get a manual for it. Excuse me, need to get a manual for it. I love this game, and I was recently listening to a podcast where they were talking about, upon initial release, there were a lot of people who did not like this game. And now, as people have looked back, they've actually had to go back and say, yeah, it's actually done a lot of innovative stuff. So they've kind of had to eat their own words on that one. In particular, I was listening to Giant Bomb, and they were talking about it, and Brad Shoemaker was talking about how he was vindicated by it. History has looked back and said, yes, this actually indeed was a good game, and it is a good game. I never understood why, because it didn't fit directly into the Banjo-Kazooie, Banjo-Tooie canon. Whatever, people got upset about that. Whatever. Then, last but not least, could not pass this up. It's not as valuable as its sequel. Not as valuable as even the Conquer Live and Reloaded that I got, but I couldn't pass this up as I do not have it for my Xbox collection, and that is Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance. I said earlier this week when the guys at Game Informer tweeted out, what would you like to hear at E3? Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance 3. I know it's not going to happen, it's a pipe dream, but god damn it, I would love to hear them say that we're bringing back Dark Alliance. This is probably the most competent and best console-centric Diablo-style clone there is. Diablo 3 and Dark Alliance are 2 of my all-time favorite games. Diablo 3, Dark Alliance, and Champions of Norath. Either the Champions of Norath or Return to Arms. Either one of those. You can put those all in the same category. I absolutely love those games. The Sacred series as well. Even Sacred 3, which was not anything near what Sacred 1 or 2 was. I even enjoyed that. I was one of the few people who actually enjoyed that. I love the isometric hack and slash action RPG. So, we'll do a quick rundown of what I got since it wasn't a super heavy week compared to weeks past. And that is... Here we go. Banjo-Kazooie, Nuts and Bolts. Space Raiders. Connectimals for my niece and nephews. Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance. Resident Evil Revelations. Puppeteer. Road Rash with a copy of Destruction Derby in there. We Play. Sorry, Eternal Ring. Dropped it on my keyboard. Didn't want to screw up the video. Conquer Live and Reloaded. Mark Echo's Getting Up, and this obviously this is a classic. But if you can track this down, or you see it in a thrift store or pawn shop, most people don't know what they're sitting on. This isn't a super valuable game, but I have a feeling it's going to get it's going to get to that point because I don't see it out a ton, and it is a fantastic game. 50 Cent Bulletproof. FIFA World Cup Germany 2006. Connect Adventures. Gears 3. And I'll pop out this one more time. In case these codes have not been redeemed, there they are. Go ahead, feel free to use them. I know Gears 3 was recently a Games with Gold, so if you have it or would like to try and see if they're usable, go ahead. I have all these skins, so I have no use for them. Fable 2, big deal. A wired 360 controller, which I will hang on to. A shitty intercooler. On a side note, if you still have a fat 360 that you say you bought refurbished from like GameStop or something like that, this will fuck with your warranty. Don't use that. However, something that won't fuck with your warranty is buying a cheap $13, $15 laptop cooler. Set your 360 on top of that. And if you don't even want to worry, if you don't want to mess with plugging it into the USBs on your 360, get one of those cheap USB power bricks at a store, plug that into your wall. That laptop cooler will function as a fan without, you're not altering your 360, you're not using it for the way it wasn't intended. And that laptop cooler will suck the heat and pull it away from the 360. My buddy Ethan uses it for a 360 I fixed up for him, did the X-clamp repair and whatnot, fixed all the heat sinks and refluxed everything. So yeah. Then also was I'm not going to show it to you, you saw it, a Kinect, a Microsoft Media Remote, a headset, and a Xbox 360 AV cable. Thanks for watching, guys. Still trying to get to 50. Hopefully, hopefully we'll get there. As a side note, there's two guys I watch their channel regularly. That's Loch Ness Monster and Retro Gamer Central. These are two really, really cool guys. The three of us don't have the biggest channels in the world, but they are very, very super cool guys. Retro Gamer Central is he's meticulous with his collection, so he has a very, very cool collection. And Loch Ness Monster is one of those guys that does lots of flea market pickups and stuff like that. We don't really have flea markets up here, mainly because of the weather. Most flea markets tend to be open air, outdoor type things. Up here, when we do have them, they're indoors, and they usually have to be planned months in advance. But our big Anything Goes sale, the citywide Anything Goes sale at the Alaris Center. For those of you not here, it's our big convention center. It seats about 20,000 people, blah, blah, blah. It's our big convention center. It's just, you show up, you buy a booth, and you can sell whatever you want. Whatever you have left over, they will haul away for you or donate. So on the 13th of June, I will be out and about at that, checking that out. I had a massive haul there last year, so I'm looking forward to that. Please check out Loch Ness Monster, Retro Gamer Central. And yeah, I will see you guys later. Still trying to get to 50. Remember, once I do, random person will be chosen. $50 on Xbox Live Marketplace or a year of Xbox Live. $50 on the PlayStation Network or a year of PlayStation Plus. $50 to the Nintendo eShop or $50 to Steam. So, we'll see you guys later. Anything else? No, that's pretty much it. We'll see you guys later. Thanks for watching.